a 1-to-1, so I know.
On about 30-1.
Not 30 many.
To 1. But going on, I was going to do a case study, but we were running way over on time. I'm just going to make a couple of comments, and then I'm gonna close this out. Pass it around the horn to the team, close it out. My biggest thing is that, Melinda had some anger management and impulse control issues.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that when she first bumped into Robert. Now, counseling in the beginning might have helped her control that, but she had poor impulse control. Now, it was admirable that she stayed with him for that long. He was working on his mixtape for 20 years. She held him down, but she got tired of being the man in the relationship. And that's kind of where all the women are coming in with that, when the roles are reversed, shoulders are meant to carry burdens, not hips. And a lot of times, we going back to that, would a man stay with a woman? A man will stay with a woman. It's the numbers show it. They might exercise options. I'm not gonna say that ain't gonna happen, but they will stay. It's women who get, like, look, I need better. I need more. You're not giving me enough. And that's why her poor impulse control, and that instead of divorcing him and walking away, she lost her ability to create children. She had a lot of ammunition to get rid of him. He was making his mixtape. I know it was technology, but basically he was making a mixtape. Her sisters, and I'm gonna say this, guys might not agree. Her sisters were looking in her best interest, but they really had no business being in her business like that.
Correct.
What I see earlier.
So, it goes without saying that 3 people in a relationship built for 2 ain't gonna work unless you're polyamorous. But when you put people who you put people in your relationship, you can't expect them not to do anything. Because if you're talking to somebody else, if you're talking to a family member, a trusted confidant, you ain't talking about nothing good about that person. 9 times out of 10, you're complaining about that person. That chocolate pearl, she don't sweep the floor. That chocolate pearl, she don't cook every day. That chocolate pearl, she don't cut the grass when I tell her to. So when those other people see you, they're gonna see you in that negative light. Do you think she was saying positive stuff about Robert? Probably not.
Nope, not at all.
Probably not. And being quiet is not the thing. You want your helpmeet to be able to give you timely advice, but dude had bum tendencies. He was a felon. He tried to rob a grocery store. That's why he couldn't get a job. He was smart, but he had poor impulse control. And he didn't understand what it was to be the man in a relationship, obviously. So you go into that lack of, you got mental health issues, you got impulse control problems, you got a lack of defined gender roles. And guess what happens? All things that happened were choices. They weren't, she wasn't forced to do anything. And it wasn't set up that, he held a gun to her head to keep her there. He ain't beat on her. Like Danny said, he ain't beat on her. Hell, according to the CDC, 56% of Black women abuse their partners and, in IPV, in intimate partner violence. And men to women is about 41%. And I think it was Anson who said that before. The mental stuff hurts a lot worse than the physical. The scars heal. You get surgery. When it's deep inside, when it's deep inside, because women know they're less physically capable of beating a man physically. Y'all know how to push buttons and get them. It caused him to lose confidence in himself. So he went to Diana, not and hear me out. This is not no excuse of what he did. He didn't go to Diana not as because it was available, but she, when she took him in, she made him feel somewhat of a man. And when your woman makes you feel like a man, you're gonna act like a man.
Church.
And that's the biggest thing. And in conclusion, what I'm gonna say is that we all know we need counseling. Every one of us in here. Everybody in here. And if you don't think you do, you definitely do. We have to understand that we have to look at us first to see what our part in the situation is. It wasn't him doing to her or her doing to him. It was that they both had unaddressed issues that they did not resolve. And a lot of those things happened. Her family tried to keep her from going to that wedding. She lost her mind when he was going to give Diane everything that she didn't have, that she felt that she deserved. And in her mind, it makes sense. She wasn't crazy, she was focused. Well, she was crazy, but that's another story. But you see what I'm saying? By the time she got to the chair, by the time she got to the therapist chair, it was way too late. She should have did that back in college and recognized she had an issue, and nobody really told her about it, or she was allowed to continue that until she did that. And on that note, I'm going to pass it to Dr. Fab. Go ahead, Dr. Fab.